Lexie Hull, joining Sophie Cunningham on her podcast, has some wonderful words of wisdom for the rest of the WNBA that they should listen to. Now, I say words of wisdom, they're really common sense, but I think we all know in this day and age, common sense is rather uncommon. Now, one thing I want to add before we even get into this is Sophie having Lexie on. Now, I'm sure she would rather do it anyway. But for those out there wondering, for a lot of people that want Sophie Cunningham to return to the Indiana Fever, I, without a doubt, believe that's exactly what she wants. The question is going to be, can they get close enough? Not even necessarily the exact amount, but can they get close enough in contract value in order for Sophie to stay with the Indiana Fever? Because somebody's going to offer her a contract. Will they overinflate it in order to get her? It happens to the Eagles all the time, but I don't know if there's enough wiggle room with the WNBA cap for a lot of teams to get away with that, right? I think a lot of teams are trying to figure out the strategy. Do they go top heavy? Do they figure it out and say, like, look, we're going to sign a big three, and then we're going to take a whole bunch of role players to put around them that make less than what would be the average salary in the WNBA. So it's going to be I'm fascinated. It's going to be fascinating. I'm looking forward to watching because it's going to be fascinating to see how this plays out and what kind of contracts players start getting. I think a lot of them will get obviously a lot more than they got before, but maybe not as much within the context of what salaries are now as they think they're going to get. Real quick, thank you for being here. Appreciate all the support. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Shout out to the 19. Quick favor, smash the like button. Please subscribe. Make sure you are already. Make sure you are, if you have already. Just take a quick glance at that because as I've said before, YouTube's getting funky. We're starting, I think, to stem the tide and go in the right direction. Thanks to all of you. I do appreciate it. Other thing I'll add is, it may not be completely spring yet here. We keep going back and forth, but my allergies say 100% it is spring. So don't mind my eyes that look like I may have done something that would keep me from passing a test were I to be playing in any of these sports leagues right now. So, all right, so let's get to this. This is a short, quick clip that I want to play with Lexie Hull, and then I want to talk about it because it actually has it's bigger than what she is just saying. Like, I think it affects the entire league, but they still don't quite understand it yet.
And when you have sold out crowds everywhere you go, it's just appreciated. It feels good as players. You talked about in the intro that like you are inspiring the next generation where you come from, around the country, with the eyes that you have on you. Like, what is something that you cherish or like gives you chills when you think about, you're still early in your career, but like your career overall?
I think it's just really cool to be at games, and obviously like you have the Caitlins and the Aaliyahs and the Kelseys, and you see their jerseys in the stands. Then when you see like a 10 out there, like it's so special because people like are watching and supporting. And growing up, I didn't have someone in the W that I saw myself as, or like that I wanted to reach for. And I feel like now with the social media and just even like TV and the accessibility for people, like they see us and they can actually like have these dreams so much earlier. Mm-hmm. And to be one of those people is really special.
And
all right, few things here. She's 100% correct. But here's, again, we've talked about this before, I know, but this is one of the things the rest of the WNBA is not understanding. First of all, the Kelsey and Aaliyah, like she talked about those before you started seeing the 10. And, early on, Lexie wasn't getting the time and the opportunity from Christy's side. She's kind of grown into it. She wasn't getting it initially from Stephanie White either. She just keeps putting in the work and taking advantage of the opportunities that she does get. But to her point, and what I was going to say is, even Kelsey and Aaliyah, maybe sooner because they were bigger stars than Lexie Hull, but that came from what? That came from Caitlin Clark being drafted to the Indiana Fever, her massive fan base following her to the Fever, those fans seeing Kelsey Mitchell, those fans seeing Aaliyah Boston and becoming fans of those players, and then eventually becoming fans of Lexie Hull as well. They go because of Caitlin. They discover other players. And here's the really important thing to understand. They don't just discover those other players on Caitlin Clark's team. Yes, that is going to be first. Of course, it makes sense. You're rooting for Caitlin Clark. You're rooting for Caitlin Clark's team. You're going to root for her teammates. But as we know happens, you go to a game. Maybe you're watching, maybe they're playing the New York Liberty. Sabrina Ionescu goes off and has a great game. She's fun to watch. She's entertaining. She engages the crowd. Maybe she stopped and signed an autograph for your kid before or after the game. Something that will be remembered. That's the other key too. A lot of these players, it's not the Caitlin Clark effect will get you fans as well, but you also have to understand who you need to be in order to take advantage of that. Be likable, be approachable, engage with the fans before or after games and at other times as well. But obviously, before and after games, it's a huge time to do it. Make an impact on the court during the game, but also before and after, so that those people watching do not forget you. And so now you have a fan who started watching women's basketball because of Caitlin Clark, became fans of Caitlin Clark's teammates, saw another player on another team do something special. Maybe that player gave him an autograph. Hey, maybe they gave him a pair of sneakers, whatever it might be. Now that player's in their head. They're a fan. They start following the box score. Now they're checking out a game or two. Maybe they're watching even more games, right? So maybe they're watching, the national game of the week, like with the NBA or NFL or whatever. Oh, hey, that's got the New York Liberty. They have Sabrina Ionescu. I want to watch and support her. Now think of all the fans that Caitlin Clark has, all the opportunities other players have to grow their own fan base, to grow the fan base of the league, to grow the ratings of games that don't involve Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. It is wild. And the reason I wanted to do this is because that seems like such a little thing that Lexie Hull said, and it is for her very personal. Hey, I've got people in the stands wearing my jersey, coming here to support me. Yeah. And she understands, yeah, they may have found out about me because of Caitlin Clark. But now I've won them over with the way I play on the court, with the attitude I bring, with the hustle I bring, with the determination I bring, with the way I support my teammates, with the way I do all the little things that help win games. And now those fans, they're my fans. It doesn't mean they're not also Caitlin Clark's fans. You can be fans of a lot of different players, but they're Lexie Hull's fans as well. Now multiply that and multiply that. And this is what so many of the players don't understand. That little bit that Lexie Hull just discussed can change this league. And I don't mean just they got that CBA, but it can change it even more going forward if the players recognize what a huge opportunity that is. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Appreciate you checking out the video. As always, smash the like button, subscribe. Please check if you haven't, and make sure you're still subscribed if you did already. I do appreciate it. Go have the day you deserve. I will talk to you later.